All right. All right, so now at this point we're going to work on the header here. So we have this all looking, good enough. All we'd have to do is change the background color over here, and it would look the exact same. Actually, I'll go ahead and do it now just so y'all can see the background color is F9. And we'll change that bottom to have that same background color. And now that we're using that border box sizing, we can uncomment this border, and it won't add any width, any size to the divs. So boom. Oh, forgot about that craziness. Where did I put that? All right. Nice and simple. And this is just, styling it to look like the site. So I was just changing the border color and the background color. As with a paragraph is just because it's nice and easy in terms of the styling we have set, in terms of we did the style earlier where we keep that Courier new as that font, versus if we did as an H1 or H2, we'd have to change the font family there. So we'll have that. And I'm just going to go ahead and put all this in here so I can show you what it looks like without it. All right, so, excuse me? Yeah, give me one second on that. So, like right here, we have these four, clickable elements, and this is the nav bar, the nav options. So in HTML and CSS or HTML, you have unordered list and you have ordered lists. All right. So since this has no, we're not saying first do this step, second do this step, third do this step. We're going to do an unordered list for these four options right here. So let's do an unordered list. Actually, I'll do it in Emmet just to show y'all. So we have an unordered list, and then we have 4 list items. So good call, thank you. So in Emmet, this is the sign, and this is also the sign in CSS for a child element. And so we want an unordered list with 4 list item child elements. So boom, does it just like that for us. And I should have done this actually, but with each of these, we want to have a link. href is going to be, for right now, we'll just use that hashtag for a holder. And I can't remember the 4 links. About me, projects, Goodreads. Next one's my projects, right? Thank you. All right. So we have that right there, nice and easy. Let's reload this page. All right, so naturally, you can see that each of these are block elements here. The first thing we want to do is we want to stay consistent with the site, so we want to put in the container div. And give me 1 second, I just want to make sure I'm going over everything I want to hit. This is what it looks like here. But we'll go list items. Header nav, right? That's what we have it as. So now we have each of these displaying as inline block elements, and we want to we want to style them a little bit, give them a little bit of padding here. And I'm going to do the padding, instead of give the list item the padding, I'm going to give the link, the A tag within it the padding. That way, if we want them to have a certain color whenever we hover over them, like we did with the buttons or whatever, it'll be within that list, that whole thing. Like if we did it within the list item, if we gave the list item padding, since this links within it, then when we hovered, it would just hover over the change in color of the background color would just change that link, which isn't as big as the whole list item. Does that make sense? Am I explaining that clear?
Well, but as a user of your website, wouldn't it be more clear if I'm hovering over a specific one of the 4 choices as opposed to the whole area of choice?
Right. So that's what I'm saying by that, like each one individually. So if we did the padding on the...
I misunderstood you then, because I thought you were saying you're going to make it to highlight all 4 of those elements, as opposed to list items, as opposed to just one list item.
Right, no, each one individually. So each link individually we're going to give padding to, and also make sure we use that vertical align. Let's just say middle. So now we do header, nav, LIA, and we'll say padding 10 pixels. We need to. All right. I'm having trouble here. I'm sorry. With the LI, we should do not the. We can change the inline block to the since we're doing the, let me give me 1 second. Top, okay. Let me explain this, why I changed that. So I changed it from the list items to have the display of inline block to the tags, because since we're giving that padding within there, that's where it's going to push up. So since we had, let me reload this page. Since we're giving the padding on the tags, we have to have it give some sort of block display. So we could display the tags as blocks, or we could display them as inline blocks. So what I mean by this is, let me show you this. If I make all elements in our document, like we did earlier with the box sizing, have a border of 1px solid. All right. So what you can see here is this further cements that everything on a site is some form of a rectangle, right? Some form of a block. You can see this, every element right here, you can see their borders. The one thing is that when you have inline elements, like these, I wish it would have done that better. These blocks right here, they can overlap. So in other words, if I change the line height of these paragraphs, see how they're overlapping within? So picture if they were if the rectangles were displaying for each word, that these push up against each other. They don't display as block elements, so they don't clear, they don't clear to the next line, but they can overlap each other. Now, if I had to put the A tags within the list items, I had to give them some form of display of block. That's what we did, inline block, because that way when we did the padding, if it was inline, it wouldn't matter, it wouldn't push it down. That's why it was staying on the top of the screen. Am I explaining that clear? Does that make sense? Some faces are looking at me like I'm talking a different language.
Repeat it.
Okay, so the inline elements, they can overlap each other. So let me go back through and show you the difference live there. Those inline elements, so this link right here is an inline element, right? See how it's overlapping outside of that box? Now, in order to get these list items to push down here, let's take this out. Let's take that display out. See, now we still have all this padding right there. See the green going away? See how it's getting smaller when I take that padding away? But since it's displaying, because naturally the A tag is an inline element, since it's displaying right now as an inline element, it's not displaying block or anything, it's not pushing from the top of the screen like we want it, right? I mean, we could do, since the list item right now is displaying as some form of block, we could give it padding, but like I said earlier, if we give it padding and we take away the padding of the link, whenever someone scrolls over it, if we give it a so we have a black background color. But that, if we want, when people scroll over, it wouldn't be a good interface because it wouldn't look good. It'd be just right there. So we want the padding to stay within the link, and for it to push down, it has to display as some form of block. It can't display as an inline because it'll just stay at the top of the page. And I'm sorry if I explained that poorly. So what we're going to do here is make sure, to keep it simple, we'll just display it as a block. And now we have it nice, pushed, good padding here. And then all we need to do is give our header title and then it's since it's a paragraph, it's already giving it a margin bottom of 20 pixels. We don't want that, so let's just go ahead and give it a margin bottom of 0 pixels. And one last thing is I'm just going to give it a little more padding just so it's a little bigger. That's a small nav bar there, just purely for looks. So let's go 15. And let's go 15. All right. I know I explained that kind of, it wasn't the best on my part, but let's stop there, and then y'all give it a go. I think it'll make more sense when you play with it within your computers.